Hello guys, first of all I welcome you all to this interview question series. We are seeing some of the important question regarding the Python. We already completed 5 sets of Python interview questions and we are in the set 6 right now. So let's just start the session. So first question of the today's session is Python case sensitive when dealing with identifier? Okay, so the answer is yes. Python is a case sensitive when dealing with the identifier because Python inherently is a case sensitive programming language. So let me just demonstrate this idea of case sensitiveness in Python. So let me just take a variable. The name of the variable is variable. So let me just take this variable is equal to 10, and I'm taking another variable with the different case with the same name, different case with the same name. Let me just take it into the uppercase right now. Okay, so variable is equals to 200. If I just print this thing to the console, okay, print this variable and second variable and also print their id, so that I will get to know if they are the same object or different object I have right now. Okay, so this is my first object. Let me just take another one, and here I am taking another variable, right? So let me execute my cell right now. Okay, you can see that the 10 and 20 are the printed into the console along with their object IDs, and you can see that those are different object. We have. Clear guys? So yes, Python is a case sensitive when dealing with the identifier we have. Clear? Another thing I want to just plug it here. So whenever you are taking any variable name with respect to the uppercase, it is treated as a constant. It is not like the fundamental core rule of programming, but the thing is that it is a general convention to follow whenever you just wanted to make the constant variable or define the constant variable. Take it as a uppercase. Clear? Next question we have for the day: how to create a new column in pandas by using the values from another column. So basically this question is for creating the dependent column into the pandas data frame. Okay, so let's just directly get into the coding we have. So I just add one code cell here, and in that code cell I'm just first created my data frame. Df is equals to pd dot data frame, right? And I'm just taking one dictionary here, and in that dictionary I'm just taking one key value pair. So first key is id, and the id is something like 101 or 102, 103 and 104, 105. Okay. And then we have something like another column which is category. Okay, category is there, and category taking some values here. So first is a, then again a, okay. So these are my categories are here, and let me just take another column. Okay, another column is quantity type. Okay, the quantities are there. Let me just take some values in the quantity column as well. So the quantity is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, enough. And we take another column which is per unit price we have, and per unit price something like 5 we have, 10 we have, 15 we have, 20 we have, and another 25. So this is my data frame right now. Let me just print this data frame first. Okay, data frame. So let me just take it. Okay, and let me just try to execute. Okay, this is my data frame is created right now. Okay, the data frame is created. So right now I have 1 2 3 4 columns are there, and there are some values are there into the data frame. So if I just wanted to add one another column which is dependent column, so let me just add one dependent column of total sales, which is the quantity multiplied by per unit price, quantity multiplied by per unit price. So just go here, okay, TF, just wanted to add new column name which is total sales, and in the total sales I just taking DF of something with respect to the quantity, right, along with DF of something with respect to the per unit price, right, per unit price. I'm just printing the DF right now again. So if I just execute that code cell, I'm getting one dependent column of total sales. I'm getting the dependent column of total sales here. In the similar, you can just add any number of columns into the pandas data frame. Let's suppose I just wanted to add another dependent column here, which is the let's suppose you are giving the 10% discount of whatever the total sales you have made for each category. So the actual sale would be the 90% of the total sales, right? So let me just add another column of actual sale, right? The actual sale would be something like DF of total sale, right? So total sales and 0.9, and I'm just trying to add another to see the data frame here. I'm executing my data frame and getting the actual sales as well. So this is the way we can just add the dependent column into the pandas data frame. Clear? So next question we have for the day: what are the different functions that can be used by group by in pandas? So group by is nothing but grouping similar items or similar categories together and doing some aggregation with respect to the another column, okay? And group by in pandas can be used with the multiple aggregation function, some of which are sum, mean, count, and standard deviation. So if I wanted to do the sum of things, count of things, we can do that. Then we have a data is divided into the groups based on the categories, and then the data is used and the data in those individual groups can be aggregated by after mentioned function, by after mentioned functions we have. So let me just go here. I have already created one data frame right now in my coding environment, and let me just add some group by here, okay, just to demonstrate the idea of aggregation function. So df of something like df dot group by which column. So let me just take group by of something like category we have, right? And then we want to add some aggregated thing of actual sales, okay? So let me just take actual sales and then sum dot reset index, you can take dot reset index, and let me just try to add this df. Let me just execute that stuff, and then you can just get the whatever thing you need. Just remove the reset index from here right now, okay? So here you can get the actual df right now, okay? So let me just remove those df because it will not fetching me the output, okay? So here you can get the actual result. So for category A, the actual sale total, and for category B, the actual sale total we have. Clear? Next question we have for the day: how to delete a column or group of columns in pandas, given below data frame D1. Okay, so if I just wanted to delete some of the columns from the data frame created above, okay, so I have, let me just print some values in the data frame right now. Okay, this is my data frame. If suppose I wanted to delete that dependent column which I have created earlier, okay, let me just wanted to delete some of the dependent column. So df dot drop command we can use, a drop function we can use, and in that drop function we can just pass multiple values. If I have a single column, then you can just take the double quotes, but if you have multiple column, then within the square bracket you can pass this value. So first I want to drop the total sales here, right? And I want to drop something like actual sales, and then we can take the axis, okay, on which axis we can find those values. So axis is equals to 1 and in place is equals to true. Let me just execute that code cell right now. So you can see that I am getting my original data frame back. So I can drop the dependent column here. So this is how you can just drop the dependent column. There are many ways to drop the dependent column. There is another way using the lock method we have, but just if you have got this question into the interview, you can just say that we can use the drop function. So yeah, another question we have for the day. Okay, given the following data frame, drop the rows having the column values as a. Yeah, so we just wanted to drop, instead of column we can use the rows. Okay, we want to drop some rows. So let me just go into my environment here. So this is my data frame created. I just wanted to drop the rows which which per unit price is greater than 20. Okay, the per unit price is greater than 20, so I can employ the approach of dropping the rows here. So what I'm trying to do is that I am first getting the index numbers, and the index numbers I can get that something with respect to the data frame, df of then df, then let me just take one column name here of per unit price, right, and should be greater than 20, and I'm employing the index method to get that index. Okay, once I get that index, I just wanted to drop something with respect to that, so I just use another drop method. So drop is a very versatile method we have. We just wanted to drop the column, then we can imply this approach, or we can just drop the rows, we can employ this approach. So df.drop is here, then we can pass those index numbers here along the axis 0 and in place is equal to true. Let me just execute the code cell. So here you can see that the 25 number rows, which is the 4th row or 5th row into the data frame, will be deleted. Clear? So here you can just get the gist of how to drop the rows and columns. Clear? Next question we have, what is reindexing in pandas? Okay, so reindexing is the process of reassigning the index of pandas data frame. Okay, so it's a heterogeneous objects we have into the pandas index. So we can take another index, by default is from starting from 0 to 1 2 3 4 something like that. So if I don't want that indexing, then we can just update the indexing as well. So here I just have that data frame right now. Okay, so here I just have that data frame. Let me just reassign some index. Instead of 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3, I just add another thing. Okay, so what I'm trying to add is that df, so let me just create first list is there, so which takes some index value, and index value something like 101. Okay, so let me just take the index value something with respect to 500, just arbitrary 500 is there. Okay, then we have a 600 is there. Okay, and it is a heterogeneous object, then we can take anything. Let's just take AAA. Okay, and also take the BBB, right, BBB, and I don't want to add the new column here. Okay, so what are the values are 1 2 3 and 4 values are there, and I have given 1 2 3 4 values, right, 1 2 3 4 values. Just wanted to add this index to my data frame. So df dot index is equal to list, and just wanted to print the df. If I just execute this thing, so you can get the different indexes right now. Okay, different indexes right now. So this is how we can just reindexing stuff into the Python. Yeah. Next question we have, what do you understand about the lambda function? Create the lambda function which will print the sum of all element in the list. Okay, so this is the list I have, and I wanted to print the sum of all the elements. Okay, so the lambda functions are the anonymous function in Python. They are defined using the keyword lambda. Lambda functions can take any number of argument, but they can only have one expression. They can only have one expression. This is the one important line. So lambda functions are anonymous functions or one-liner functions, can be used to just do some of the single expression calculation. So here are some examples are there. Let me just take their example as well. So let me just go here and create one list. Okay, list is equals to, so list underscore is equals to taking one list for every I in range, for every I in range 1 to 10, so 1 to 11 and minus 1 is there, and I'm just taking this into the list. This is the list comprehension I have right now. Okay, and I wanted the sum. So by to utilize the sum into the single line, I can use the reduce function. So reduce function is available into the functool library. So just import that functool library right now into the collab I have. So let me just import that thing. So from functools import reduce. Okay, import reduce, and let me just take this one and execute. Okay, the functool library reduce is there for us to use, and let me just scroll it down so we can employ reduce, and then we can take the lambda function as well. So lambda, we can take the x and y as a 2 argument to the sum and pass one iterable object, okay, to the reduce function, and just print out the sum we have. So I'll get the 55, first 10 rational number sum. Clear? Next question we have for the day, what is vstack in numpy? Give an example. So vstack is a function to align rows vertically. All rows must have a same number of element. Yeah, so it's just a stacking of the number of rows. Okay, so if I just create a n1 first numpy array, and we have a second numpy array is here. Okay, second numpy array is here, and we can just employ the np.vstack method, and by employing these you can get those rows vertically stack. So let me just go here and try to just employ this thing. So n1 is there, np dot array. So first let me just take array1 is equals to np dot array, and I'm passing some list values. So 100, 200, 300, 400 is there. Array2 is there, which takes some 500, 600 and 800. np dot vstack, I want vstack. Okay, np dot vstack, and I am just passing some of the values here. So vstack I'm passing here. So np dot vstack, and in the curly braces you can pass those array. We have. So these are the arrays we have. Let me just take this out from the equation, and then we can just print the array 3. So I'm getting the array which is vertically stacked. Similar to vstack, we also have a h stack is there. So array 4 is there. Okay, similar to vstack, we have a np dot h stack. Okay, and in the h stack function we can just pass one array1 comma array2. If I just print out all the thing, okay, I just print the array4 here. Let me just execute, and you can get the horizontal stacking of each of the element. Clear, guys? Next question we have for the day, explain the file processing modes that Python supports. So there are 3 file processing modes in Python: read only, okay, write only, and read and write. Also we have a append as a. Clear? So if you are opening a text file, say read mode, then the processing mode become RT. For read only, this is WT, and for write and so on. Similarly, a binary file can be opened by specifying B along with the file accessing flag RW. Then we have a RW is there again, and A for processing it. Clear? Next question we have for the day, what is pickling and unpickling? Pickling is the process of converting a Python object hierarchy into a byte stream for storing it into a database. It is also known as a serialization. Unpickling is the reverse of pickling. The byte stream is converted back into object hierarchies. So this is if in the simple terms, if we are doing pickling and unpickling, if I have an object in Python, then this object will be converted into the binary, and unpickling is the reverse process, converting that binary into the desired objects. So this is the pickling and unpickling we have. Next question we have, how is memory managed in Python? Okay, how is memory managed in Python? So this is one of the commonly asked Python interview question. So memory management in Python comprises a private heap containing all the objects and data structure. A heap is managed by the interpreter, and all programmers does not have to access to it at all. The Python memory manager does all the memory allocations. However, there is an inbuilt garbage collector that recycles and frees memory for the heap space. So all the temporary objects are created within the heap space, and the garbage collector will look after it. So if any of the object is not reusable, then it will be thrown into the garbage collection. Clear? Then next question we have, what is unit test in Python? Unit test is the unit testing framework in Python. It supports sharing of setup and shutdown code for the test, aggregation of test into the collections, test automations, and independence of the test from the reporting framework. So if you are developing any web applications, then unit test ensures that all the codes you have written will pass all the scenarios and test cases. Yeah. Next question we have, how to delete the file in Python. So files can be deleted in Python by using the command os.remove. So we can use the os module for that, or os.unlink. Clear? Next question we have, how do you create an empty class in Python? We can create the empty class by using the pass statement. Pass is a placeholder for implementation. We have. Clear, guys? Next question, what is Python decorators? Okay, so decorators are the function that takes another function as an argument to modify its behavior, to modify the existing function behavior without changing the function itself. These are the useful when we want to dynamically increase the functionality of a function without changing it. So here is the example we have. So first we have the divide function is there at very first, and the divide function only just do the divide a by b. So it will take two numbers and do the division. But the thing is that as soon as we will get the 0 at the division, it will throw me a zero division error. It will throw me the zero division error. So I want to handle those cases. So without modifying this existing function, I can write one decorator function. So this is my decorator function, which takes another function as an argument. Then we will define wrapper or inner function, and the wrapper function will check if b is equal to 0, then it will print some messages. If it is not, then we'll execute the existing function. And in order to link that decorator function with the previous function I have, we will just use the @smart divide, in which we can just link those two functions and add some additional functionality into that existing function we have, the existing divide function we have. Clear? So this is how we can just create the decorator to enhance the functionality of existing created function. Next question we have, what is dynamically typed programming language? Okay, so type checking is an important part of any programming language, which is about ensuring minimum type errors. The type defined for variables are checked either at compile time or runtime. When the type check is done at compile time, then it is called as a static typed language, and when the type check is done at the runtime, it is called dynamically typed programming language. Clear? So if you are defining any variable, let's suppose var is equal to 10. So in the Python you did not explicitly do the typecasting. Let's suppose int is equal to a is equal to 10. So this thing we will not do into the Python. That's why Python is a dynamically typed programming language we have. Clear? So next question we have, what is the difference between the Python arrays and list? Okay, so Python arrays and list are both ordered collection of element and mutables, but the difference lies in the working with them. Arrays store heterogeneous data when imported from the array module, but arrays can store homogeneous data imported from the NumPy module. But the list can store heterogeneous data and to be used in the list, it doesn't have to be imported from the any module. Clear? So this is the thing we have with respect to the arrays and list. So basically arrays can take only homogeneous element and a list will take the heterogeneous element. Performance wise the optimization is different with respect to the memory management as well. Clear? So next question we have for the day, and this is the last question we have right now. So what is scope resolution in Python? So we have a local scope is there, global scope is there, and enclosing scope is there, then built-in scope is there. We have seen similar type of question in the previous interview question sets as well. So where we can just where I have just explained you to the scope of each of these things. So let me just try to explain this again. The variable accessibility is defined in Python according to the location of the variable declaration called the scope of variable in the Python. Scope resolution refers to the order in which those variables are looked for a name to a variable matching. So these are the types of different scope we have. Okay. So next question, what are dict and list comprehension? So it's the same thing. It's a beautiful way or shortcut method for creating the dictionary and list object we have, and we have already seen how to do that. So this is the list comprehension we have, and similarly we have a dictionary comprehensions as well. Clear? Just in the one line we can just add one expressions and command we have and created the dict and list object. Next question we have for the day. So the next question is with respect to the difference between py and .pyc files. Okay, py and pyc file, this is the final question we have. So .py are the source code files in the Python that the Python interpreter interprets, and .pyc are the compile files that the byte code generated by the Python compiler. But .pyc files are only created for the inbuilt modules and files we have. So these are the different two files we have. .py files is a module we have in which we define some classes, functions, methods, variables, and .pyc are the compile file we have. Clear? So that's the stuff we have for the day, guys, and we will meet in the next session with the more interview questions. Till then, have a nice day.